As the population increases and resources become more scarce, sustainable farming practices become increasingly important. Vertical farming is the process of growing produce in vertically stacked layers. Crops are placed vertically above each other in a closed controlled environment and area growth with hydroponics, aeroponics, or aquaponics with artificial lighting. The increasing population in Australia's cities means that people are now living in areas that would not have traditionally been considered. This is called the urban sprawl. The land that is now used to build houses was once used for agriculture. Not only does this decrease the land that is available for farming, but it increases the population demands on resources and infrastructure that was planned for fewer people. When we add in the impacts of climate change such as increases in the Earth's global temperature and more adverse weather events such as droughts and flooding than ever before, we realize that we are facing a big problem. Produce that was once available for 50,000 people 10 kilometers from an urban area is now required for 100,000 who must be transported 50 kilometers, and that is if it even grows in a drought or not completely wiped out by flood. This perfect storm of challenges means that we are facing a future where there is less food available for more people at a greater financial and environmental expense due to the availability of natural resources and cost of transport. Vertically stacked farms produce crops 3 times faster using significantly less resources. The smaller footprint required for vertical farming results in improved biodiversity and less land and soil damage. It also increases the viability of sites closer to the city as you need less land so you can set up in more places. Being closer to cities means a decrease in the financial and environmental costs involved with transport and refrigeration. Vertical farming is indoor, so the variables that contribute to growth can be controlled. Produce is no longer at the threat of climate events, and humidity, light and water are monitored remotely to ensure optimum growth and quality. Crops are no longer restricted by seasons and can also be grown in many more parts of the country due to the limiting impact of the external climate. Setup costs and the environmental impact of artificial lighting are limitations of vertical farming. Indoor sunlight and climate control requires a lot of resources and power. The most obvious way to address this is to ensure that renewable energy such as solar panels or wind energy are used. Vertical farming is also incredibly expensive to set up, and in some cases setup costs are up to 10 times that of traditional farming. Even though vertical farms actually save money in the long run, with automation technology, meaning labour costs, and a lower proximity to cities, meaning lower transport costs, businesses may not see the benefits straight away. The advantages that vertical farming presents in addressing the increasing demands created by population growth, urbanisation and climate instability make it a viable option for the future. If renewable energy for climate and lighting control is considered and the funds for setup are manageable, the benefits of the smaller footprint, closer proximity to the cities, lower resources and higher output provide considerable promise as a farming and food produce strategy for the future.